So today I'm going to show you how to find off-market deals and 3x what we call boring business profits with AI. And look, the reason I'm sharing with that is because everyone's chasing the next trend. If it's crypto, dropshipping, flashy startups, AI, whatever, I want to be the next billion-dollar Uber or Airbnb. And I've done things that most people are not doing. Like I went the other direction and I went into boring and established businesses. And I focused on what most people would say is not lucrative and nobody was looking at. I'm talking about small businesses like service companies, consulting companies, HVAC companies, auto shops, cleaning companies, businesses that built by baby boomers, and they are often ignored, but they're super profitable. And now I think today we have the new wave of opportunity and leverage, not just in the market, not in a random trend, but in what we call the AI stack that you can implement in any businesses that you're buying right now. And you don't need to build a startup or raise capital from VCs or go viral. You can buy what's already working and already profitable and upgrade it like it's 2025, and soon 2026. And if you're not doing it, you're just missing out. So here's the blueprint in a nutshell, and then we're going to double click on all and dive into how you can do this. So the blueprint in a nutshell is you find a boring business. It can be on or off market deals. You then inject modern systems and you plug in AI like it's kind of like an upgrade from Nokia to iPhone 17. That's the process. So basically, in a nutshell, you buy boring businesses, you find off market deals ideally, you use AI, and you 3x the profit potential. So let's start with talking about picking the right business and why most miss out on the right deals. I think the biggest mistake is, or biggest thing you need to focus on is to forget shiny sectors. You do want recurring revenue, low tech adoption in the business, fragmented competition. So think about businesses like plumbing or specialty clinics or marketing agencies or blue collar B2B type companies. And the real play here is to go narrow and go deep. So if you're able to choose one sector, obsessed about it or live in it for the next 90 days, learn the language, learn the problems, and you'll see that the riches are in the niche. And don't waste time analyzing the perfect business. No business is going to be perfect, especially if it's small business. Even the biggest business in the world, they have a lot of mess in them. People just are not aware of that. But start with what I would say is a decent business. So for me, a decent business is obviously you want, like I said, some recurring, and preferably you want a seller that actually someone who wants out and you care about the legacy. So legacy matters more than cash to him. So basically, recurring versus one-off type businesses and legacy versus a bad business. Next, let's talk about mastering the deal flow, right? And when you talk about deal flow, we have off-market and on-market deals. Off-market is what I think is the real play if you want like to get all the creative structures that you might hear about, like seller financing, earnouts, 100% no money down type deals or low money down deals. The best deals are coming from off-market. So the way to find those deals and to win is to go out to your network and just start to post or email people that you know. I think the best replies came to me when I went to businesses that I was basically a customer of, or my mom was like a customer of that business. And I say, hey, my mom was in your shop last week. Have you ever thought or know anyone that might be interested in selling a business like yours? Or just posting groups that you're looking to buy a business in whatever industry, in the HVAC business, in your location. And hey, have you ever heard about anyone or do you know anyone? And do this weekly, like start to post on different groups and places and start to just send messages to people. That's what we call off market because those are business owners that didn't raise their hand yet saying that they're interested in selling, but if the right offer would come, they would be interested. So you just start a process there. Or you can also just call owners directly. Like in our accelerator, we have some recordings of basically cold calling owners and getting the deal to the next step. So call them. You can also, of course, go to brokers. You can ask for listings that are over 12 months because they usually are more motivated to sell. You can tap into your network like lawyers, accountants, suppliers. And if you go off market, by the way, you can use tools we like things like Apollo, Instantly, LinkedIn, of course, and cold emails. When you do this, always have some kind of a CRM, even if it's just a Google Sheet to start with. Track your calls, track your meetings, track NDAs, track CIMs that you have in, and aim for at least 100 plus ideally conversations to have one solid deal that you're able to close. So in a nutshell, you build your deal flow funnel. So the deal funnel is basically you getting leads, deals, you filter them fast, you make offers, and you sign LOIs so you could move to closing. And of course, finalizing capital, which I'll get to in a minute. And by the way, if you want me and my team to send you 300 to 500 deals every month to look at before they even reach the main marketplaces, hit the link below or reach to my team and book a call with us. We'll show you how it works. That we have a massive network of brokers that send us lots of deals, and we aggregate them into a database to support you in the process. So you will save a lot of time on finding those deals. So yeah, just look at the links below. Next, let's talk about capital stack and just understanding even mindsets on how to structure those deals. And in my opinion, how you need to look at deals so you can think bigger. So too many people, they're stuck thinking that they can only buy companies doing below a million. And that's the hardest bracket, in my opinion. Usually they have messy books, dependency on the owners, and just very tiny teams. So, in my opinion, the best move is to go bigger, aim for businesses doing at least 1 million to 10 million revenues. And the way to structure those deals, like the way it's going to take you the same amount of work to do a big deal as it is to do a small deal. So why won't you just go for a larger deal? Because the same capital stack apply for a small deal usually and a big deal. For most deals, let's say in our bracket of 1 to 10 million, most deals are being financed with some 70 to 80% to 85, let's say, percent bank debt, and it can be SBA or conventional. Then 5 to 15%, 5, 10, 15% is seller financing, and the rest, 5 to 15% is equity. And the equity is basically your capital or other people's capital. We can also help with that if you work with acquisitions.com. We have access to thousands of investors that are looking to passively invest into deals that you can lead. So if you need that help, let us know. And the reason that you would like to raise capital from investors is, first of all, you can reduce your personal cash risks and needs. And I mean, why not? If you can bring in investors that will add value, not just capital, potentially support and advice and upside in the deal, then it's good. So I think, especially if you're getting started, the goal isn't to own 100% of a $300,000 business. It's to own even, I don't know, 20% of a $3 to $30 million business that you can eventually also grow and roll up and make it $1 billion company if you want. It's really up to you on how and when you want to take this. Um, yeah, so in a nutshell, remember that capital stack is basically debt, seller financing, and equity, right? And that's what's basically equal leverage and big plays. And remember that it's very common to do it on every size of deals. Even Elon Musk, that just bought Twitter in a very famous acquisition, he raised a lot of capital to do that deal, right? One of the richest, if not the richest person in the world, used other people's money to buy the business. So if he can do it, you can do it as well. Don't be, I don't know, a snob thinking that you cannot do it. Next, let's talk about everything AI integration and also the first 100, let's say, transformation of a deal that you're getting yourself into. And this is where the real magic happens because most businesses that you'll buy are pretty much stuck in 2009. So let me share with you some ideas on what you can do in the first 100 days to change the business and help with profitability. So I would say phase one is what we call kind of like a baseline. This is where you want to audit everything. It's the leads, the sales, the delivery of the products or service. You want to map bottlenecks and to see where things are getting stuck in the process. And you want to have KPIs, ideally before you even insert in tech. So have some kind of KPIs for each of your departments and team members. Phase two, I would say, let's call it front end. Those are days 11 to 30. That's where you can start to bring some AI tools. If it's advertising, you can use tools like Arcades or Mascot AI that I just invested in. You can create smart forms, automated emails, SMS, follow-ups. You can have a pre-call video. You can have a human fallback or an AI receptionist. I would do those things very fast to make sure your marketing is intact. And of course, your follow-up and making sure that every lead is not being forgotten. Phase three is delivery. So let's say days to 31 to 60. That's where you can start to do things like creating AI generated quotes or invoices, review automations, create dashboards, AI dashboards for client service and support to make sure that the retention is there with all clients as much as possible, because that will help you increase lifetime value. And that's usually the difference between a business just surviving versus thriving. If you just have more back-end sales and retention, you could do magical things in small business. Phase four in a deal, I would say, let's call it back office. Those are days 61 to 80, let's say. And this is where you want to make sure you have your AI bookkeeping, your for accounts receivables, payable, like to help with terms and whatnot. So you bring in cash flow forward. You can have HR bots for hiring. You can create SOPs and training libraries for all the employees. So there are some specific checklists and processes that everyone will follow. So everything is aligned and consistent. Phase five, let's call it ROI. That's where, let's say, a days 81 to 100. This is where you will need to know your numbers. You already have some data, and you want to make sure you know your CAC, your margins, and those different terms like ROI on your investments and all that. And slowly, of course, you want to constantly refine and double down on what's working. So, in a nutshell, when you're going into a business, you want to optimize your leads, your sales process, your deliverables, and optimize things again and again and again for a never-ending process to improve the business, to get lower costs, lead higher quality leads, overall higher conversions on sales, and better lifetime value on the back end while retaining as many clients as you want. Next, let's talk about some of the mistakes that I've seen and mistakes to avoid. So one of the things is don't think you need to plug in like, I don't know, 10, 100 tools all at once. I would say don't buy a business unless they have some kind of systems. Like you need to make sure people know how to do it. And if they don't have a system, make sure that during your due diligence, you're creating and building those systems. Don't skip building relationships with sellers. Like I see, this is a big mistake. Like I see too many people just work with brokers directly and never talk to the owner. This is not good. Like you want to buy businesses with from people that you like. So, and also remember, like trust closes deals. Like people will give you their business for free if they like you enough. So most buyers fail because they look at, I don't know, one, two, three deals, they hear no and they give up. So stay in the game, aim to make at least 100 offers before you give up. Because remember, you only need like one deal to change your life. So in a nutshell, don't over complex things with too many tools. Don't over analyze, don't quit. So here's another bonus for you, which are some mini plays you can do per sector. So things you can implement right away. Let's say in HVAC or plumbing sector, you can have a missed call AI receptionist. I've seen working great. You can have maintenance reminders working great, service reviews. In dental, I've seen no-show rescue AI working great, patient recall bots working great, claims processing AI working great. For agencies, content engines working great, sales bots working great, having AI dashboards, that's also very important. For e-commerce, I would say AI support, quiz funnels I've seen working great lately, and abundant cart recovery. So use all of those different ideas, and you'll see just implementing some of those could show increase of like 10 to 30% in profit margins. So let's wrap things up and talk about next steps. So the playbook in a nutshell is you pick your niche, you build your deal flow, you raise capital, and you plug in AI and scale. This is how the modern wealth game is going to be played. You don't need to invent things from scratch. You don't need to code. You don't need millions of dollars upfront. You need to commit, to focus, and to run the play. If you want our help of acquisitions.com, we've been involved in more than $1 billion worth of deals at this point. If you want help finding deals, raising capital, implementing AI into those businesses, um, I invested in Mascot AI. We can really, really help you on the AI implementation stuff. And of course, with acquisitions.com, with defining, analyzing, raising capital, and closing on deals. So if you want to do it faster with us, like we have clients that can close deals within 60 to 90 days when they work with us. So if you want to do it with us, then click the link somewhere below and book a call with us. And I'm looking forward to support you. Take care.